Hey everyone. As you may or may not know, Barnes & Noble started running a 50% off all hardcover book sale that started yesterday. It's ran today as well. I don't know when it's going to end. Hopefully soon for my wallet, but figured I'd show off what I got. I was actually able to only pay about $100 out of pocket for all of these because of some gift cards I scrounged together. But if it's still running into this week, I'll definitely be coming a little bit more out of pocket. I was able to get all of these for about $100 out of pocket, which is incredible. There's a lot of books to choose from, but I decided to really stick with authors who I haven't read and really have been wanting to read. So that was kind of the theme of everything I picked up. There's so much good stuff out there now. Ken Liu's The Veiled Throne, the third part of the Dandelion Dynasty, came out. I really want to read that, and it was there on the shelf, but figured I'd wait and just stick with the stuff that I don't know. So to start with, I picked up 3 awesome Library of America sets. I do have a lot of Library of America stuff, and I love them. The first one is a collection of Westerns, and that's actually a really, really awesome cover. The Library of America is the ones that just come in the slip case, and you just get the normal blue cover. I'm not really a fan of that. I do like the covers that they come out with, even their normal black ones. This is a cool little collection, 4 novels, including the Oxbow Incident, The Searchers, Shane, and Warlock. So I'll probably be reading that over this weekend. I'm a huge Western movie fan. I haven't read too much of the genre, so I'm excited to get into that. And there were 2 really cool sci-fi collections. American Science Fiction. This one's from 1968 to 69. And the second edition from 1960 to 66. This one has novels from Lafferty, Past Master, Joanna Russ, Picnic on Paradise, Nova by Samuel Delany, which actually I have read, and Imperial by Jack Vance. And the only thing I think I've read from Jack Vance is Bad Ronald, which is a really disturbing book if you ever get a chance to read it. And actually I have read City of the Chosh, I believe, but not too much. So yeah, these are great little collections. I love the way they lie flat and you crack them open their spine. And yeah, just excited to have some more Library of America stuff. They did have a few Ursula Le Guin collections, but I decided not to pick those up. Even though these were on sale, they're usually $40 new. You can still usually pick them up new. Amazon runs sales on them all the time, and I found that you can find a lot of them at library sales. And I was able to pick up 3 of these novels by Ben Bova, someone who I've been running to read for a while. These are really nice looking dust jackets. And I believe Ben Bova passed away maybe either this year or last year, if I'm not mistaken. Everything I've read about him is that he writes really good kind of hard sci-fi that's also accessible to general readers. I actually started on Earth after I picked it up this afternoon, and I tore through about 100 pages already, which isn't usually how I read, so I'm excited to get through these. And yeah, there's tons of stuff to go through from Bova if I like him, which I have no doubt I will. I got Uranus, Neptune, and Earth, and yeah, really excited for all of these. I got Bruce Sterling, Robot Artist and Black Swans, the Italian Fantascienza stories. This was a cool looking book. It gets a lot of science fiction-y cyberpunk stuff that takes place in Italy, which is cool. I've started learning Italian, so I'm excited about kind of all the Italian-themed stuff. And from Tachion Press, and one of the things that's really cool about it, as well, is without the dust jacket, the cover. That's really cool looking. I wish more presses would do stuff like this, and I will certainly be looking at more of their stuff, especially if it's presented in this kind of beautiful layout. So I'll be looking at reading these soon as well. Finally, I picked up Stephen Erickson's The God Is Not Willing. I actually had tried to read not too long ago. I think it was The Gardens of the Moon, which is, I think, the first book of the Malazan series. I wasn't really feeling it. Not enough that I didn't hate it. I just really couldn't. There was a lot of other stuff on my mind that I wanted to read on my reading list. So I went with something else, but I figured for this, about $14 I think I paid, I'd give it a shot. Everyone who I talk to tells me it's an incredible series, so I'm going to give it another shot. I'm sure I'll like it this time around, and excited to pick that up. Then Shards of the Earth. Right, he's Adrian Tchaikovsky. I'm really sorry that I haven't read any of his stuff. another person who's very prolific, and you know, any conversations about contemporary science fiction, his name pops up. I haven't met a single person who doesn't like him, and I've had some of his books on my to-read list for quite some time. Like the Children of Time series has been on my to-read list for some time, so I'm excited to get started on this one. And then I was able to pick up some really cool signed books for, I think all three of these were $14, which is cool. Joe Abercrombie's The Wisdom of Crowds. Had a signed edition. It's not numbered or anything, but it's really cool to just get a little signed edition there. I actually haven't read the first two books of the Age of Madness trilogy, but I do have them waiting for me at the library, so I'm sure I'll devour those, move on to this one, and hopefully be able to find some signed copies not too much later on. Neil Stephenson's Termination Shock. Another author who I've always heard so much about and just never really gotten around to reading. Cryptonomicon, that's been on my to-read list for quite some time. This one I've been getting some pretty good reviews, and so I figured I'd get myself a signed copy for about $14. If I hate it, so what? But it looks really cool, so I'm gonna get into that one. And then finally, a signed edition of James Lee Burke's Another Kind of Eden. He's another author who just for so long has been on my list. I'm a big fan of like Michael Connelly, and my favorite author of all time is Cormac McCarthy, and I've had a good friend who's told me that he kind of manages to mix those two things. Obviously not as literary as McCarthy, but just writes really good, beautiful, clean prose with a very dark edge, and again, a nice little signature line. So to get all these books for about $100 out of pocket is great. Maybe the sale will run a bit longer, and I'll see if there's some other Barnes & Nobles by me that have some other goodies. But yeah, so if you went to any of the sales and picked up some good stuff, let me know what you picked up. If you have any recommendations based on these books, please let me know. And I hope you have a good day. Thanks.